to take your seat. Time to take your seat.
Good morning, Danny. How are you doing? All right?
Good morning, mate. Yes, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm perfect. I'm perfect. I'm looking forward to a brilliant day of sport. All round, to be
can't
fair.
wait for it, mate. Can't wait. Football and boxing, what more could you want?
Exactly, mate. Like, I can't believe it's taken us this long to set this up and have a boxing show.
But here we are.
Reese, I got your message. I've sent you the link for it. Let me know if you can get on. And we'll bring Reese on the show with us. So Tap Talks Boxing. It's fight night. Usyk v Chisora is the main one.
Yep.
So talk to me about that. How do you see that panning out tonight?
It's different, isn't it? Because obviously Usyk's just come up a weight class, so he's not going to be used. Well, actually, he is going to be used to it because he fought heavyweight in amateurs. You know, he got the gold medal at London 2012, so he's going to be used to the heavyweights, and I think that's what people are going to write him off for. People
100%.
are expecting him to not do as well, but people are forgetting that this is where he came from.
But obviously, it's been 8 years out of it, and he has been phenomenal. Well, as soon as he stepped up to pros, he's been brilliant. Usyk, this is obviously technically. There's probably no one better than him. His footwork is absolutely amazing.
Yep.
The only thing is, and I've spoken briefly to Brownie about this, is heavyweight boxing can be over like that.
Yeah.
It can finish like that. And if there's any man that can do that, then Chisora's the one. He comes and he goes to war. Like it's his slogan. He absolutely loves it. I personally can't see anything other than a points victory for Usyk. I'm just going to bring Reese on now.
Hey up.
Morning,
Hello,
mate.
Reece.
All right.
How's it going?
Yes, how mate. Been doing my cleaning. Blasting Oasis.
Nice.
Happy days.
Just saying now, Reese. I personally can't see anything other than Usyk on points, but I know that you think.
Alexa, stop. Really? No, I think you're crazy, man. I think Usyk should really destroy him within 6, but I think he'll toy with him until the 8th or 9th and then bang on the deck.
So blown down for the 9th.
I mean, Usyk's not really fought anyone big apart from, I think Bellew was his biggest opponent, and obviously beat Bellew. And Chisora's lost to the likes of he's lost to Dillian White twice. So he's.
Oh, but Dillian ranks very highly in heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, well, that's a debate, isn't it? Because I don't think he's. I don't think he's any good. I don't think he's a title.
Well, I've got the rankings here, actually. I think Usyk's ranked at 5th in the world, and Chisora is 9th. So,
is that heavyweight, though? Because I think Usyk, is he coming from...
that's on the Box Rec page.
Usyk's
is he
mandatory to Joshua's WBO title? He's mandatory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could talk boxing for hours, but I think, to be fair, Fury would beat Joshua anyway. But
of course,
maybe they're taking into account his heavyweight record before. You know, in his amateurs, he was 335 to 15.
I mean, that is a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, what is Since 2012. So yeah, eight years. But it's not that many fights since, if you put it like that.
Yeah, yeah. Andrew says, sorry. I just think Usyk's raw power may be too much for Chisora. So mirroring what Reese has said, that he thinks that it's going to be over early.
Yeah,
early.
I think it's a good comment. Yeah, I don't think it's just down to power. It's just down to footwork, technique, punch and move, jab and move, jab and move. He's going to toy with him with the hook. I just think it's going to be literally like like an exhibition match for Usyk. I think he's just going to absolutely play him around the ring.
I think Chisora will keep him on the back foot though.
Sorry,
I think Chisora might keep him on the back foot though.
Oh, he's going to have to. He's got to do something to stop Usyk and his. Usyk's movement is brilliant. I've said it before. Like Usyk's movement is brilliant. Like,
and his precision. He could throw 100 punches and land 98 of them.
Yeah.
Other boxers can throw 500 and only land 100. You know, it doesn't matter how many you throw. It's about your precision and the timing when you're gonna step forward and hit and move away. And I think Usyk's just a masterclass at that at boxing.
Chisora's going to look to dominate him early on. He's going to come out. He's going to take center of the ring, and he's going to look to hit him with the overhand, because
for sure.
When Chisora can land that, then it's nice.
It can be damaging. It can be damaging, but like you say, he's going to come out all guns blazing.
Perry, Usyk inside 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think 6, but I think if he wants to toy with him, you're looking at more 8th, 9th. But for me, yeah, definitely Usyk by stoppage.
What do you make of Chisora coming into the weigh-in with all that face paint and stuff?
He loves to put on a show, doesn't he?
He's making a statement. Because what do the Mandingos used to do? They used to fight to the death.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Chisora fights for money now, not belts, where Usyk is trying to get title fights. Not saying this is an exhibition fight, but one of them has bigger motives.
100%.
For sure.
That's going to happen though when you get that age. It's going to happen. You're not going to be looking for title fights as much when when you pass 35, 36.
Yeah, I mean, Chisora's 36 now. Usyk's 33. So, but Chisora, if he loses tonight, it's game over for him. There's no other fighter that he can fight after this.
No, he's got to be a retirement announcement for sure. And I think, like you said, with him being title contender, I think there'll be a big fight announced for Usyk after he's won tonight. Whether that, I don't know, the talks of Joshua at the minute, what talks he's got, if anything's for definite. But I think
Joshua's fighting Pulev in December, and there's speak of 2 mega fights in 21 with Fury. But to do that, you're going to have to maybe release the belt, but then it's not the same. I mean, Fury said that it's not all about the belts. He just wants to fight Joshua.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think Joshua will release a belt. I don't think he'll do that.
Yeah. It is a tough one, because if you want more belts, but yeah, you have to give up is it the WBO or WBA that you have to give up?
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think there will be a big fight for Usyk after his win tonight.
I hope so. I don't want it to be Joshua though, because I don't want that to get in the way of the Fury Joshua fight.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him fight
Wilder.
Yeah, maybe Wilder, maybe Dillian White. I'm not sure Dillian will take that fight after losing.
I tell you, I don't know if you've seen much of him, but that Daniel Dubois, he's going through the ranks. He's one to look out for.
Yeah,
in the heavyweight division.
He's part of Joshua's team, isn't
he? Yeah.
Well,
Eddie Hearn, yeah.
No, Joshua's got his own little team as well.
Oh, yeah, he's part of that.
I think it will be Usyk versus White next. Yeah. Usyk versus White. I mean, that's a big fight for White to take, because it's a risk. And White's always taking risks, and perhaps unnecessarily.
He's always trying to prove himself to get that title fight. So yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was either going to be White, or is it? Oh, what's his Joe Joyce? I think they're the contenders for the next fight if Usyk wins.
Joe Joyce is fighting Who's he fighting? It's on the 28th of November, isn't it? That all British one. We were speaking about it, Danny, last night.
I can't remember now, mate.
Speaking to Brownie about it. I can't remember. It's on the 28th of November, though. A big fight.
We'll get back to one on that. I'll jog my memory. Can't check it at the minute because my phone's doing this. But
no, it's Daniel Dubois. We were literally just talking about it a second ago. Yeah. White's been mandatory WBC challenger for ages now. It was over 3,000 days, but did he not lose that when he lost?
Yeah.
Did he? I don't know. Did he lose mandatory when he lost that fight?
I don't believe he did, to be fair.
It still goes up rankings. Even if you take a loss, it still depends on your ranking, doesn't it?
That was in 2018.
What was?
That fight where he won the silver title.
Oh, right.
Title.
Yeah. It's been close to 3 years now. Yeah, 2 years, 3 years. Also, on the undercard, I was speaking to Danny just before we came on. Lee Selby versus George Kambosos. Now, you reckon... Oh, it would be a good fight. The thing is, right, and we did it last time, because what we've got Reese, I'll have to get you involved on it, but we've got a boxing chat, and it's got a few of the admins, few of the members on the group. And when we have fights like this, we always talk about what we think is going to happen in that. And I think the last one that was, it was one of them in Eddie Earn's back garden, I think. And we managed to get like pretty much all of them spot on. Like,
okay,
to be fair. But do you think Ivan Drago will make a comeback?
Yeah, Selby points for me.
Selby points on the Kambosos fight.
Yeah.
You reckon George is going to win, don't you?
I think he's going to win round 9. I don't
want Selby to win.
I want Selby to win, but I think Kambosos got it.
Do you think Ivan Drago will make a comeback?
Who's that? Which admin is that?
Which admin? It's got to be
Ivan Drago.
I reckon Gaffer.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely not Barnard. It's definitely David.
Yeah, it's got to be, innit? He likes his Rocky films.
Yeah. Also on the undercard, I'm gutted, but Dave Allen, the White Rhino, his fight's been called off against Christopher Lovejoy.
I did see that.
Reasons being COVID, is it, or just is it a drug thing or a weight thing, or?
It's anyone's guessing. It could be an injury, it could be COVID. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Probably COVID, but he'll probably tell him it's an injury or something like that.
He's someone that in his first few fights, Dave Allen, I used to be like, this guy, and then he lost a couple of fights, and now he's just sort of, he's not that good anymore. I mean, he's always going to be there. He's always got that massive punch on him, but he's got a fair way to go to make a real comeback. Dave Ray says correct. It's the Gaffer.
I'm taking back the king of the ladder for that. I'm joking.
We've also got 2 women fights: Savannah Marshall versus Hannah Rankin for the WBO middleweight title, and we've got Amy Timlin versus Carly Skelly for the Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title, and Tommy McCarthy against Bilal Lagoon, like something. We was talking about boxing where you've got your casual fans and you've got your dedicated fans. The casual fans love to see a knockout. They love heavyweight titles, heavyweight fights. They love like Dave. Dave's a casual fan. Nothing wrong with being a casual fan. Dave's a casual fan, but he's also well into his UFC. But you're going to be like those casual fans of boxing that love to see a knockout are always fans of the UFC because they love to see a knockout, which is fine. But
boxing's a bit more technical than that.
Of course, and I love the technical side of it. Can I just ask, what do people think to this potential? What?
Warren and Hearn will put fighters against each other. Will it just be an undercard fighters, or do you see a main eventer?
They're just trying to put more money in the pockets, really, aren't they?
Let's be honest. Dave, this isn't Reese's debut. He's been on shows before.
I've been on one, I think a show before, yeah, one or two. I think this, yeah.
But big shout out to Reese there. Danny, you wanted to speak about another fight. What fight was that?
Yeah, so one of Floyd Mayweather's young proteges, Gervonta Davis. He's fighting tonight in the WBA World Lightweight Championship and the Super World Super Featherweight World title against Leo Santa Cruz. Have you seen Gervonta Davis? He is
I've seen him, and he's an animal, mate. Like, again, the footwork, the technical side of his game is brilliant.
Mayweather is his trainer, isn't he? So
if I can recall my memory correctly, I think he's very quick, punching and moving. He's very he's
very cocky with it.
That's what Mayweather's all about, isn't it? Get in, get out, get in, get out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the idea of boxing is to hit and not get hit, and Mayweather had the master plan of that. Mate, no one can take that away from him.
That's Mark Woodland giving you a shout out there, Reese. Dave says UFC for me. Big fan, love the technical fights. As for boxing, I'm casual. Yeah.
Do you follow all of UFC, or do you just follow the likes of McGregor and Khabib and I don't know, Brock Lesnar, if he's still doing it? I don't know. People like the big names.
He's got my knowledge of UFC.
Khabib, talking of Khabib, actually, he retired after his fight the other night, and he's already in talks with Dana White to secure another fight already. Khabib.
It's all for the clout, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, Gervonta Davis, he's going to win that fight without a doubt. He's so good. He's going to go places.
But don't write off Santa Cruz. I don't think he'll beat Davis, but don't write him off. He is a good fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
You can't argue with Davis's record, 23, 22 knockouts.
It's good that they're taking those sort of fights because we've seen it over here where you've got the quality, but they're not taking the big fights with somebody like Billy Joe Saunders.
Yes.
How many fights has he had now? Like 30 fights or 28 fights or something, and he's still not fought that top Canelo. Like, do you know what I mean? He's just not. There was talk he was fighting him in March or something. COVID called it off.
He's not helping himself though, is he? With all the stuff he's doing in the public eye.
Oh, of course not, mate. But I won't get into that because it's so controversial.
Frank Warren has both Saunders and Fury. They both come from the traveller community or gypsy background, however you want to put it. Fury and Saunders do have the same kind of person. I don't like Fury as a person. The way he comes across, some of the stuff he says, but the boxing ability behind Saunders and Fury, for me, Saunders would beat Canelo and Fury would beat Joshua.
But Saunders is now taking a fight against an absolute no one.
Is it just kind of like getting back into fighting fitness, and is just going to be one of those where
what it is, knowing him,
like a warm up fight? It's been so long since he's done 12 rounds. He probably just needs someone to play about with in the ring before announcing a bigger fight.
I reckon, lads. To be honest, I mean, I don't know whether you guys box or anything like that, but when you've not been in the ring for a long time, your hunger for it just grows even more and more, and it's like. Yeah. I think personally he's just hungry for being in the ring.
I have fought twice at the King Power Stadium.
Oh wow!
Yeah. What's that? Ultra white, is it?
Yeah, ultra white, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But Fury is actually an ambassador for a wheelchair basketball team as well.
Danny is a WBC champion.
I wouldn't say I'm a WBC champion, but I'm an ambassador. I've got me gold grey scissors here. Look.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Nice.
7-0. Undefeated. We'll take it.
Nice. Andrew, I've not got a clue what you're talking about, but according to reports, there would be big news regarding a fighter in the States. The name hasn't been said yet, but I can only assume it's about Wilder's future. If you're Wilder,
I'll be honest. My views is Wilder is done. Wilder's done. He's no more.
But on the business side of things, he handled this situation now perfectly. Because, and I say that because if you're Wilder and it's in your contract to have a rematch, you're not going to take that rematch. Of course you're not. You've been battered twice. Okay, it went down as a win, whatever, the first time, draw or whatever it was, but you have been beaten up twice. So just because it's in your contract now to take a rematch, by prolonging it out and saying yes or whatever, he was never going to take it, but by prolonging it out and saying yes, he's had that offer from Hearn to say, look, step aside or whatever.
No, they're in breach of it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Wilder, he needs to fight somebody like probably Usyk actually after tonight. If he wants to prove himself again, it needs to be someone like that, or just throw the gloves up, mate.
Yeah,
you've had a good career. You haven't fought many big people, but you've knocked a fucking lot of people out.
Yeah.
So
that's what he had, really, wasn't it? He had that right hand.
This is Dave because he struggles with his spelling. Bless him.
Snooker, tennis, boxing. Wish more Cubans would go professional in boxing, as they normally stay amateur, but they do so well at the Olympics. Cubans.
Different mindsets in it, and different levels of achievement. So, some see the Olympics as the highest, you can get to that level. And the boxing's different as well. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you start getting involved with professional side of things, you start getting into the corruption and
you see him getting back to the level he was. Was that about?
This is talking about Wilder, I'm guessing.
No, he did not get back to
what level was that?
What level was he though? I mean, he might have been title. He might have held the title, but honestly,
he didn't deserve it. He didn't earn that title.
Deserve it. He didn't fight anyone big. And
Wilder can punch. That was it. He can punch, but he's punching people that are not as good as him anyway. The only time that he's fought anyone half decent, Louis Ortiz, Fury, he has been battered.
He's just
you beat Ortiz, but you got battered for 11 rounds or whatever it was.
Yeah,
he got lucky with that one punch.
Wilder's arms are obviously, everyone knows, they're just dangly to foot. So he's just kept him at arm's length, and then he's been able to deliver that knockout punch, like you say, to no one big. So yeah, for me, he didn't deserve that title anyway. And
if he wants to, power, you're going to use it like that.
And if he wants to, he's got to go and fight Usyk, Ruiz, Joseph Parker.
That fight with Fury was never a draw. Wilder lost that.
Of course it weren't. Oh, of course, mate. 100%.
Yes, knockdown was massive, but the whole fight, Fury, well, not the whole fight, Wilder did have a couple of rounds, to be fair, but for me, that was never a draw. You can't declare that as a draw. That's just, I think it's just because it was in America, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. It would have been the big build-up, though, to create more money from having a second fight. Do you know what I mean? It's just to reel him in.
Yeah, that's the one problem with boxing is it's all about the money. It's all about the money.
It's all about the money for those boxers that are up there. You know what I mean? All these ones that are at the bottom. I was looking at a couple of records of some fighters earlier, and he won every single fight. He goes by the gentleman. I can't remember his actual name, but he fought every single fight. He won until he lost against might have been Davis. It might have been Usyk. Can't remember. He lost that fight, and now he's ranked 158. You know what I mean? That's how quickly it goes. All these money are going to the wrong boxers.
Yeah.
And the wrong people.
One win can bring you back up 20 ranks. Wilder reminds me of Nassim picking his fights and goes against someone who's quality boxer loses.
What a fighter. What a fighter. He was my favourite. Prince Nassim.
Prince. Yeah. Cocky twat.
Yeah.
He was my favourite. Yes. It was all about the showboat.
Like 2 hands on the rope, flipping it.
Flipping in the ring, yeah. It was quality. But what was that question again? See, I don't agree with them, to be honest. I think if you're going to box at that level.
So is that boxer versus UFC fighter already, or is that two boxers?
No, so obviously similar to the Mayweather-McGregor fight.
So it's a boxer and a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Depends in which setting. boxers can probably go over to UFC and have a scrap there but when the UFC came to boxing, you have to hold back so much of your game.
Yeah.
So much. And that was why McGregor struggled.
And that is the massive dependence. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. With if a boxer goes into the octagon, it's game over. A UFC fighter comes into the square, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, as a UFC fighter coming into a boxing ring, it's 100% different. You have to hold back your game, like you say. Yeah, 100% agree.
Money
with that.
talks. So to answer the question, can you see it happening again? Yes, because it's all about the money. And Dana White is a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
And so is Eddie Hearn, obviously. If I had to go out and say who, I'd probably put my money on somebody like, I don't know. How good would Fury be in heavyweight UFC?
No, I think you got to look at more of the cruiserweight style. So like,
yeah,
he's got on his bucket list.
I know he wants to do it. Yeah, I know he wants to do it.
I'd like to see in the octagon? Lomachenko. He is a fucking tank, mate. He is so quick. He's so strong. He's so agile. And the strength, if he got put to the floor, I reckon he could get out of a hold or get back up. So Lomachenko in the octagon would be a massive hit for me.
And he's just lost a fight as well, actually, back in March or April sometime. Wasn't it an unsanctioned fight? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How devastating would it have been if McGregor had won that fight against Mayweather?
The world would have gone berserk.
And he was nowhere near winning. He got battered 10 rounds. Something.
The closest he got was hugging him from behind.
Like I said about 10 minutes ago, the master of boxing is to hit and not get hit. And Mayweather proved that throughout his whole career. So for McGregor to come in and even attempt that was just, like you say, one, about money, and two, just because he wanted to try. He's got such a big head on him, and he was so good in the octagon. He wanted to come in and prove that elsewhere, and you just can't do that.
So just to wrap things up on tonight's fight, straight after this live, I'm going to close this live down. We're going to come back on. Reese, if you want to join us, you can do. We're going to come back on and we're going to do Premier League preview. So that's coming straight up after this. But just to wrap this up, I just want to get your final words on it. I'm going Usyk points. Danny?
Usyk knockout.
And Reese?
Usyk knockout between 8th or 9th for me. 8th or 9th.
Gets Zlatan in the octagon. That'd be great. Right, thank you, boys. Hope you enjoy it. Reese, are you going to come on the Premier League show?
Yeah, maybe for a little bit. Yeah.
Sounds right. I'll see you in about 5 minutes' time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.